Now at noon, North Little Rock police are investigating the city's first homicide of 2022. Plus, the White House warning that Russia could use chemical or biological weapons in Ukraine. New information from the Pentagon that could change the course of the ongoing war. Flu cases are on the rise in Arkansas, the age group seeing the most cases, and the surprising reason why. A Northwest Arkansas staple has closed. It's a place full of memories for people all across the state. More on the most viewed story of the day coming up at 12:08. But first, we start with the chance of snow. Meteorologist Nathan Scott is over in the Weather Center. Nathan, it feels like a nice, mild spring day today, but winter returns with a vengeance tomorrow.
Yeah, Michael, do not be fooled because we already have winter weather advisories that have been posted for Northwest Arkansas. These go into effect late tonight and continue into Friday evening. We're going to have a very quick moving system, but it's going to produce a punch of some snow across the region. Friday morning, we'll start the day with maybe a little bit of sun. It will be dry. Look what happens by 3 o'clock. Snow, and it could be heavy at times taking place into northwest Arkansas and west central Arkansas. That band of snow will make its way into central Arkansas right around rush hour. But this is a fast moving event. Look at the temperatures right around freezing. The snow is out of here for most of the state as early as 11 o'clock or midnight by Saturday. Now out there right now, it's delightful. Temperatures into the mid to upper 50s, and we'll see those numbers rise into the low to mid 60s for highs today. So enjoy today because tomorrow it's going to be a shock to the system going from the morning into the evening hours, and then Saturday morning, well, you will know winter has returned. I'll let you know how much snow your neighborhood could see coming up.
All right, Nathan, North Little Rock police are investigating the city's first homicide of the year. At around 8 o'clock last night, officers responded to a shooting in a liquor store parking lot on Railroad Avenue and 24th Street. They found a man who had been shot there. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. We do not have his identity or any information on a suspect, so we're working to learn more about the incident. We'll bring you the very latest as we get that information. Little Rock police need your help solving a deadly hit and run. Investigators tell us someone hit Angela Engel while driving on Geyer Springs Road near Interstate 30 on the morning of February 12th. She later died from her injuries. Police are now searching for the driver and vehicle, which is possibly a red Honda sedan. If you have any information that could help in the investigation, call Little Rock Police. Violent crime in Little Rock is up 17% from this time last year, and city leaders continue their effort to address the issue. This all comes after Little Rock saw its second highest year of murders in 2021. So now, given what we just said, 17%, the first months of 2022 are already looking worse. The mayor and the city's police department are trying to get ahead of that crime and say the community is stepping up too.
We are working to save a generation to prevent the crime before it even starts.
In an attempt to get ahead of the rising numbers, LRPD is using data that indicates where the highest crime rates are in the city and assigning more officers to those areas. The war in Ukraine continues with no end in immediate sight. There's international condemnation over a Russian strike on a maternity hospital there. Meanwhile, Russian forces are taking on heavy casualties as Ukrainian forces fight back. Natalie Brand has the very latest from the White House.
Russia and Ukraine met for peace talks Thursday morning in Turkey, but the discussion ended without a breakthrough.
They seek a surrender from Ukraine, but this is not what they are going to get.
There is also no immediate progress on establishing a new humanitarian corridor out of Mariupol. That's the city where a maternity ward was struck Wednesday, killing at least 3 people, including a child. Vice President Kamala Harris, while in Poland, called it a war crime.
Any intentional attack on innocent civilians is a violation.
The World Health Organization says it's not the first time Russia has hit a healthcare facility.
WHO has verified 18 attacks on health facilities, health workers, and ambulances, including 10 deaths and 16 injuries.
U.S. officials are concerned Russia could use chemical or biological weapons in Ukraine or create a false flag operation accusing the West of using them.
We have seen one of their playbooks is to accuse the other that which you are doing or which you plan to do.
A senior defense official tells CBS News Russia could encircle the capital of Kyiv in another 1 to 2 weeks if it's able to grind through significant Ukrainian resistance.
Ukraine is strong. Ukraine is fighting. Ukraine made Russian initial plans fail.
The U.S. estimates as many as 5,000 to 6,000 Russian forces have already been killed in action, in addition to an estimated thousands of Ukrainian soldiers and civilians. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
Russia is paying a price at home as sanctions take a toll on the economy there. Private corporations continue to pull out of Russia in response to the invasion. This morning, Goldman Sachs announced it's halting operations in Russia, becoming the first bank to do so. The ongoing conflict continues to take a toll on gas prices here in the U.S. The average price jumped another 6 cents overnight to $4.32 a gallon. That's 59 cents higher than last week. Because fuel is more expensive, other travel costs are going up too. Air travelers are seeing high prices at a time when COVID restrictions are being eased and there's pent-up travel demand. Everyone wants to get out and travel. Prices are up 20% and expected to keep climbing, partly due to rising jet fuel costs. Now some airlines are cutting flights to help with costs.
You have a big problem here where you're cutting routes, you're cutting capacity, and you're increasing fares. How bad is it going to be this summer when you see that happening right now?
Now, with higher demand for travel approaching, analysts say now is the time to book those summer flights. A little more bad news for you. Sorry to be the bearer. Rental cars, buses, and cruise trips will all be more expensive in the weeks ahead. And speaking of bad news, the flu has returned to Arkansas. It's a virus we really haven't seen much of for the past 2 years since COVID-19 began. But as THV11's Mercedes McKay shows us, numbers in our state are on the rise.
Some pharmacists I spoke to say while they've heard about the flu spreading around our area, it hasn't really hit their community just yet. But here at Kavanaugh Pharmacy, the owner tells me they've seen an uptick over the past week.
What we can see right now is those telltale flu signs.
Things always stay busy at Kavanaugh Pharmacy, and recently that's included something rare for this time of year, flu testing.
We just haven't seen that for probably 2 years, and so people aren't really prepared for it.
That preparedness is on the pharmacy side of things, according to owner Ann Pace. Last week, when they began to see more people coming in with prescriptions for Tamiflu, she realized her stock was low.
When I called around yesterday trying to find some liquid, a lot of people's had expired and hadn't had any, and so I recommended to them, you may want to get some ordered because we're seeing it.
Pace says they're mainly seeing it in school-age kids, and she's already hearing about multiple classes having outbreaks.
Part of the reason we're seeing this is because we've taken masks off. And we're seeing it in kids because we don't have those masks on. And so that's great. Kids need to get back to not having masks, but we're going to start seeing all of those viruses coming back.
That's what the numbers show. According to the Department of Health's weekly flu report, the virus is rising in young kids. State epidemiologist Mike Sima says masks coming off in schools could be contributing.
March is still respiratory virus season, and if those particular interventions are not being followed, it's possible to become sick with the flu.
While certain pharmacists are experiencing it, Sima says the state overall is having minimal spread, but flu cases aren't required to be reported in Arkansas, so this is based only off what they're given. So, as we head into spring months, health officials believe cases will only go down.
In general, we would expect flu at this point in the year is for it to continue to decrease and really dip below kind of background levels during the warmer months.
In Little Rock, Mercedes McKay, THV11 News.
The most common flu symptoms are high fever and exhaustion, sometimes a sore throat too. Most clinics and pharmacies are able to provide rapid flu testing, so if you have symptoms, you can get diagnosed quickly. Let's get to our most viewed story on thv-11.com this afternoon. A popular Northwest Arkansas attraction has closed. The Wilderness Drive-Thru Safari in Gentry posted a statement on its website saying several factors led to this decision. It goes on to say, quote, "We have greatly enjoyed providing a fun and educational experience and appreciate the support of our many friends and visitors since the 1970s, and there have been many visitors over those years." All right, another crushing blow for Major League Baseball fans. The season pushed back another month. How that decision is now impacting businesses. That story coming up at 12:16. Nathan.
And we're seeing lots of blue sky out there. It's going to be a very nice Thursday around the region. Friday, entirely different story, as rain will change over to snow, and we will see accumulating snow here in central Arkansas. Let you know how much to expect and how long this cold snap will stick around next.